Hey everybody, so here's an update on the Machete project. As you can see, it has a pretty good shape to it. I still have a lot of rough edges I need to smooth out. There's a lot of ridges over here from when I was using an oxyacetylene torch. And I'm trying to set an edge right now. As you can see, it's pretty rough looking right now. And that's because when I used the cutting torch, I didn't have a guide to make a straight cut. So a lot of these ridges would have to be ground out, and I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. I got it right here. I have a general purpose bastard right here, and I have a quick removal file I just bought today. So I'm trying to remove a lot of material. This flat spot right here was the worst, and I actually was able to use this file that has the cutting teeth run in both directions. I was able to take a lot of material with this, and so I might do the same for the rest of this, just to have everything cleaned up pretty well. I already have a bevel set when I was using the regular. I was just using the standard file, but I may look at the success of this right here. I may go ahead and just flatten all this out and then make a new edge. So far, after when I did the heat treating and it sat for a while, I noticed there was a warp to it. So what I did was I got some C-clamps and I clamped it down and took a 3-pound mallet and just whacked the mess out of it where it was bent, and I was able to straighten the body out. So I'm gonna do some metal removal and come back with just the end results. Stay tuned. So after a good several hours of using the new double cutting file, and you can see there's still a lot of steel left on it. And I didn't do this all in one sitting. I did this on Friday. And when you saw the first part of this clip, and this is early Monday morning. It's nice and smooth. A reason why I wanted to make it smooth all the way to the end is because I wanted to have this nice straight edge, just running down the entire length of the face of the machete. And so I'm going to have, basically, next thing to do is, and I might use a grinder for this to put a bevel on it. Just do a rough start with a hand grinder, and then smooth it out with a hand file, and then with a lap disc sander. One of the things I did when I was using the grinder was I used Tri-Flow on the teeth, the cutting teeth of the file, and then I periodically would clean it off with a wire brush. But as you can see, it's pretty smooth. So stay tuned. I'm gonna follow this up with another clip of, hopefully this thing should have an edge by then. Well, so far so good. I have a bevel on the blade. It's not that sharp. As you look down it, you can still see some dull spots, but it is roughly 45 degrees. I used this basically. This is a pretty good tool, and I can tell this thing will keep I believe this will keep a good edge, because even though it's mild steel, after I tempered it, it was very hard to even file this thing down. Now this is 1/4 inch thick. So I want this thing to be a pretty heavy machete. So I knew getting an edge on it was gonna be very difficult with a hand file. But so far, it don't look too bad. I still have the scale, as you can see right there on the sides. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna grind those away or keep it as kind of a rough looking, kind of like a rough looking piece of equipment. I still have to use a hand file on this section, and then put a grip in, get it set up for grips. But as of right now, my focus is getting this thing a nice edge. If you guys got any tips, I'm welcome to hear whatever you guys have to say. I will do a final weigh-in as soon as everything is finished. Any gripes, complaints, send me a PM. I see if I can address them. If you want to make a donation to the channel to help with this project and other projects like it, just go to my homepage on YouTube and look for the Give Up That Cheese button, and you can make a donation to my PayPal account. And yes, you can see the metal flakes right there. I have been using a hand file to take this thing down. I thought about using a grinder, an angle grinder, but I didn't want to spend. I was afraid of spending too much time in one spot, and then you start seeing heat marks all along the edge, and I didn't particularly want that. But this is an update on the Machete project, just getting an edge set on it, smoothing it out, and getting a nice edge. And now it's time for me to get to work and start sharpening it to where maybe I can slice some paper. If not that, maybe cut down a limb or two. But I'm Edward Jones, and thanks for watching.